Hi Hannah, how are you?
Hi, I'm okay. How are you?
Okay. I'm doing all right. Thanks so much for coming in to see me today. What's going on? What's bringing you in?
Um, my mom told me that I have to talk somebody about um my brother recently passed away and my older brother, and I'm just having a really hard time dealing with it and moving forward. I just feel like I'm very angry and angry at the world. Um, and yeah, my mom's making me come.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm very sorry for your loss. The loss of any loved one, especially a sibling, is not something easy to get through. And, I'm very proud of you for coming in and seeking help because sometimes we do just need that extra little support to kind of help us get through the dark times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're kind of gonna do is the whole basis for these sessions is to kind of work through and kind of accept the things that you're coming into services for. So in this case, we want to kind of help you. I want to help you move through the death of your brother and kind of accept, what the new normal is going to be. And so we'll work through that together. But I'm curious, like, so what exactly are the things that you're feeling? Like, what does a normal day look like to you now?
Um, I just feel like I'm kind of like I keep to myself now. I'm not really. I used to be a very happy kid. I used to do a lot of things. I used to dance. Um, I was involved in school. I had a lot of friends, but now I just don't really care about anything. I'm just angry. I spend a lot of time just like at home, um, and I find myself just like thinking about my brother and like his death and all the things that I won't be able to do with him anymore. And I feel like I spend a lot of time like just like sitting in his room or like looking at his clothes or looking at his
Okay.
um like pictures we had growing up.
hmm And when you're in his room, when you're looking at his things and pictures of you guys, what are the feelings that you have?
um I think just feelings of like guilt and also anger surrounding his death, and just um like feeling guilty like of all the times I was like an annoying little sister. Like, could I have been a better sister? Um could I have helped him? um and then just anger at like, why did this happen? um yeah.
I do want to assure you that those feelings are entirely normal, and that's actually a huge part of the grief cycle. So you're experiencing normal feelings, normal emotions. I don't want you to think that you're not. Um, but it sounds like when you say that you're feeling guilty, it sounds like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. And I'm just wondering, how how can we change that? How can we kind of see this as an opportunity to live for your brother instead of regrets?
um I don't really know. I think maybe just not being so angry and focused on the death, um and maybe trying to be more productive instead of just like shutting down.
Okay. Now, with the shutting down, do you think that has any connection to maybe sitting in his room?
It might, yeah. It probably definitely doesn't help.
Yeah. With the sitting in his room, how often would you say that occurs for you?
Um, I definitely like check in his room like a few times a day. I try not to stay in there too long just because it makes me upset. But like I have these, I don't know, these feelings of if I just like check in his room, maybe one day he'll be there. Or just I check in his room just to make sure everything is still how he left it. Um, and I just check in his room just to feel some kind of like sense of normalcy. But
Okay.
I definitely don't think it helps. I think I just kind of makes it harder because he's not there.
Hmm. Yeah, I understand that. And again, I think that's something that's completely normal. I mean, you lost a huge part of your life, a huge piece of your puzzle, and adjusting to this new normalcy is going to be huge. It's going to be difficult. Um, but the feelings you're feeling and the things that you're experiencing, they're entirely normal. So, what I'd like to do, um, and if this is okay with you, I'd like to meet weekly from here for a couple months and just kind of work through together until you kind of feel comfortable with the new normal and kind of maybe going from there. But I think some of the goals that we can kind of achieve together could be, maybe not going in his room as much and, readjusting to this new sense of normal. What do you think about that?
I think that would be helpful.
Okay. All right. Well, then we'll get you scheduled for a session with me next week and we'll kind of get going from there. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, bye.